All right, let's wrap up the show by talking about some baseball. October's almost here. The season's wrapping up, and let me bring you to the National League. Let's begin with it. The San Francisco Giants. By the time this is posted, will probably already be at 100 wins. They are the best team in baseball, and it's not particularly close. They have looked phenomenal all season long. They lead the league in home runs. Pitching has been amazing. The bullpen has been locked down. The Giants are I'm picking them to win the World Series, and I am very excited for them. I'm very happy to see them in the playoffs. For first time since 2016, they can do a lot of damage. So yeah, the Giants, they're the one seed. They're probably going to stay the one seed. The Dodgers are only a game and a half behind them though, but I don't think they'll catch them. The two seed in the National League are the Milwaukee Brewers. This is the team that will give the Giants a run for their money. This rotation is amazing. The bullpen has been locked down. The concern I only have about them is our offense, but I think they could get it to click. They could go to the World Series. I think people might be underestimating the Brewers. They're I believe they have the best ERA in Major League Baseball right now. So don't underestimate them. They are coming to compete. They will be a fierce competitor come October. I have them in the NLCS against the San Francisco Giants. I have the Giants winning about 7 games. For the 3 seed, we have the Atlanta Braves. Very impressed with the Braves. Right now, I think they have a 2.5 game lead over the Phillies. That's going to be a tight race. I still think the Braves will come away with the division. Um, I don't even know how they've had so many injuries. They have been dealing with so much, and you know what? They kept fighting, and now they're in first place. They've lost all their best players, but they keep going. I don't think they're going to do anything in the playoffs. Their roster is depleted. They're going to probably get swept by the Brewers in the first round, but still, I'm just very impressed with the Braves overall. I think Philly can make some noise, but I will get to the teams in the hunt momentarily. The 4 seed are the Los Angeles Dodgers. Literally nothing to say about the Dodgers. They have the best roster in the baseball, but they can't. Aren't the best team in baseball. I think the Dodgers will. Hang on, drink some water. I think the Dodgers will win their wild card game, but that's about it. I think they might compete against the Giants, but I don't see them going to the World Series. I think last year they definitely benefited from weirdly they benefited from COVID. I think they seem to have a lot of stuff go their way. But yeah, and then the 5 seed. I can't believe I'm saying this, but the St. Louis Cardinals somehow, some way, are in the playoffs. It's been very impressive. They've come back from so much. They were below 500 come to All-Star break. They added Jay Happ and John Lester, 2 pitchers who were over the age of 40. I thought it was stupid at the time. Turns out it's been great. The Cardinals have been amazing. They've won 11 straight as I filmed this video. By the time I finish filming it, then maybe they'll be at 12 straight. Maybe they'll have lost. But either way, Cardinals have looked amazing. I don't think they will go to the World Series. I don't even think they'll make it past the Dodgers in round 1. Wouldn't that be amazing if they went into Los Angeles and beat the Dodgers for the wild card game? I'm fairly confident the Cardinals will get the final wild card seed. The Reds are hot on their tail, but right now the Cardinals are absolutely on fire, which will lead me to the teams in the hunt. Let me start with the Cincinnati Reds. Good for them for being competitive and staying alive. I think they're about 2.5 games behind the Cardinals. It will be tough for them to make it into the playoffs. I haven't completely discounted them, but they are competing, and I think they will be a playoff team come next year. Because I think, honestly, I don't truly believe in the Cardinals long term. Their roster is very old. But yeah, good for the Reds for competing. Let me take this moment to absolutely obliterate the Padres in what's been one of the most pathetic collapses I have ever seen in my life. So the Padres coming into the season, everyone had them competing with the Dodgers for the division. What a joke that has been. The Padres have been terrible in the past couple of weeks. They got swept by the Giants. They got swept by the Dodgers. They're barely keeping alive. They aren't even at 80 wins yet. They could finish a 500 team, and this roster is loaded. They call themselves Slam Diego, but turns out they forgot how to pitch. Nothing's going right. They've looked absolutely horrendous. This has been their collapse has been worse than the Mets because we expect that from the New York Mets. Unbelievable on the Padres' part. I'm very disappointed in them. I'm not a Padres fan or anything, but to see them just completely collapse against a team like the Cardinals, which don't have good pieces, it really tells you a lot about the two teams. We look at teams like the Atlanta Braves who are completely injured, and then we look at the New York Mets who are cruising. The Mets just seem to have given up while the Braves fought. It's same with the Padres. They have a better roster than the Reds and the Cardinals, but they have looked atrocious. They don't deserve to make the playoffs. They will not make the playoffs. I can safely say that will be it. I think their manager will be fired come the end of the year for this collapse. But yeah, disappointed in the Padres overall. But I think the wild card or the playoff picture will probably remain the same, but we will have an update in about 2 weeks. All right, now for the American League. So the Tampa Bay Rays have the best record in the American League. I don't know if they're the best team. I think Houston is about just as good. One of those teams will go to the World Series. I honestly don't know. I haven't picked yet. I'm rooting for the Astros. I'm the only person in America who loves the Astros who's not an Astros fan. The cheating scandal, I think, is kind of ridiculous. The Dodgers didn't win any of their games at home, so it honestly has nothing to do with the cheating scandal and just more that the Dodgers are kind of pathetic. But yeah, so the Astros and the Rays, both two best teams in the American League, they will compete in the NLCS. I don't know who's going to win it. I'm leaning more towards the Astros right now, but we will see. Coming in at the 3 seed, we have the Chicago White Sox. This team will be one and done. They do have a very easy division, so they have to be much better next year. This year, they were good enough to win the division, but good enough to win the division isn't good enough to make it far in the playoffs. They need to be much better. They are a good team, but they are not a great team, and they have a lot of holes. I honestly think Houston will sweep them in the first round. They kind of remind me of Atlanta, where it's like, okay, they're here, but that's it. They're more of filling up a vacant space. Now for the wildcard teams, this is really interesting, the American League wildcards. Not like the National League, where the 5th seed's kind of up for grabs, but everything else has been pretty much determined. So we have the Blue Jays, the Yankees, the Red Sox, the A's, and the Mariners. Two of those teams will be the wildcard teams. So it literally switches every day because I looked the other day and the Blue Jays had, and now they're out. Then they're out of the playoffs. I don't even know where it stands right now. It's tough to say. The Yankees are falling apart again, which I think is really funny. I don't really like the Yankees, so watching them collapse is very entertaining. The Blue Jays could make a run. Right now I think Boston will finish with the 4 seed. It sure looks that way. They're getting all their players back. They had a lot of injuries. I think a lot of people seem to forget about that. It's not that it just fell apart. They had injuries. Now they're getting players back. I think they'll get the 4 seed. The 5 seed is interesting. It could be the Yankees, but however, I will lean towards the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays are kind of on fire right now. Their bats are going insane. Val Guerrero Jr. should win the American League MVP. I don't know if they will beat Boston in the wildcard game. I think they might. They're very evenly matched. They won't go to the World Series. None of the wildcard teams will, but that is very exciting. The other 2 teams in the hunt are the A's and the Mariners. The Athletics are kind of just falling apart. They're not going to make the playoffs. I don't really believe in them. But yeah, the Oakland Athletics, honestly, the lack of payroll has really hurt them. I think their window's pretty much closed. They're not going to be very good next year. The Seattle Mariners, I will never believe in this team as long as I live. However, they could make a run for it next year. But don't hold me to that. because I don't even believe that. However, that's how it's looking right now. So it's gonna be the Rays the 1 seed, Astros 2, White Sox 3. That's all been, I think, official. I'm pretty sure that I don't know if the Astros have won their division yet, but they will. And then for the final, and then the wildcard team, I have it being the Red Sox and the Blue Jays. We'll see where it goes from there. Very excited for October baseball. And then that is the end of our show. I will see you next time.